Entering Kenmore. Doors will open on the left.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome to episode 60 of Entering Kenmore. I am David Azer alongside Zach Coe. Zach, well, we almost witnessed history. I guess in a way we still did, with a 15-game win streak from the 2026 Boston Red Sox. For the first 2 months of the season, I never would have thought this was even remotely possible. And now here we are. This was absolutely electric. I can't even be upset that it's over after they lost the finale of the Orioles series. Still riding very high. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, for this team to go on a 15-game winning streak to tie a franchise record set by a team that had Ted Williams and Bobby Doerr and Johnny Pesky on it is really unbelievable. And what my favorite part about this stretch was that, like, no matter who you talked to, whether it be around the park or simply just fans or media or anybody, it was just like, what is happening? Like, what are we watching right now? Like, for them to go from the lows of, I know we both had two different rock bottoms, but to go from the lows of those rock bottoms, the Colorado series, that Toronto getting swept by Toronto, and even losing those 2 games to the Nationals, to rattling off 15 straight, feeling like absolutely everything was going to break your way, was unbelievable. And I have been racking my brain the last couple of days trying to find a regular season stretch that was as much fun as what we just witnessed for the last 3 weeks, and I really couldn't think of one. Like, obviously, I think the 2018 World Series run stands alone in my lifetime for most fun run. But of course, that's the playoffs. Like, as far as regular season runs go, I just don't know that there has been a more fun stretch of regular season Red Sox baseball than what we just saw.
I don't think there is. It's hard to compare to a 15-game win streak. I guess the 10-game streak last year before the break was pretty fun. But yeah, I think an underrated aspect of this is they kept it rolling after the break, which we haven't seen past Red Sox teams do. And they come out in game 1 of the Rays series and blow them out 10-0. You're like on cloud 9. I mean, I was pretty hyped before heading into the break because of the way they won the finale against the Mets. But I think that first game out of the break was a new level. It showed you that it wasn't just a fluke. You know, they kept it rolling after the break after having, 4 or 5 days rest. That was pretty impressive. Yeah. I think even more impressive than the 15 games straight, because the break was, I guess, kind of smack dab in the middle of it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We talked about it on the last episode, but this is a team that has gone on these runs. It hasn't necessarily, obviously, it's been an undefeated stretch heading into the break each of the last 2 seasons, but they've gone on these runs before the break, and they've come out and they've completely wet their pants and fallen out. And I think both of us, that was our main concern when we talked on the last episode of how sustainable this may be. And I still do have my concerns about the offense, which we'll get into as we get into even more trade deadline conversations, which, like, the fact that we're having these conversations about, oh my God, who are they going to add, is so much more fun than, like, okay, they're going to trade Aroldis Chapman and they're going to trade Sonny Gray and who knows what else they trade, and they're going to get prospects and we'll see. Like, I mean, for me, that's fun, but overall, it's way more fun to be talking about, like, oh my God, Shea Langoliers, Hunter Goodman, like these names that you could add to your major league lineup that immediately come in and provide a spark. But you said it, they come out and they absolutely smack the Rays 10-0 in that first game out of the break, and you kind of sit there and you say to yourself, you're like, okay, like, this team is for real. Like, this run was not a fluke. This is a team that's motivated and ready to go. They have a doubleheader immediately coming out of the All-Star break, and they blow out the best team in the American League. Like, that was a really big first test for me to see them pass with flying colors.
I'm with you. It was interesting when that game got postponed in like May or whenever it was, and we were kind of talking about it, and it was like, okay, this team could be like bottom of the barrel, already selling off parts when that doubleheader comes up in mid-July, and to be on exactly the opposite side of the spectrum with that in reality is insane. I cannot believe that the 2026 Red Sox of all teams were the ones to match the franchise record in wins. Like, just it's weird even saying that, based on how the first 2.5 months went. Like, how did we get to this point? I have no idea, but I am all the way in now. And if you are able to swing big at the trade deadline and bring in a Shea Langoliers, a Hunter Goodman, a CJ Abrams, I mean, we'll get to some more names on this list, but I mean, the sky's the limit. The AL is pretty wide open. The Yankees are floundering without Aaron Judge. What does that look like when he comes back? And then even the division leaders, I'm not really even remotely scared of, because you've seen them play well against all of them so far. So I think the AL is wide open for the taking. And if Breslow's going to save his job, then he has to get aggressive this deadline.
I think he already has.
Probably. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to fire a guy after rattling off 15 straight. And I mean, same goes for Chad Tracy, which we were talking about before we started recording.
Yeah, and I mean, you said it, like, you feel like you can run with any team in the American League now at this point. The teams with the 3 best records in the American League right now are the Tampa Bay Rays, the New York Yankees, and the Chicago White Sox. And in the last month of baseball, you're 11-0 against those teams. You're rather convincingly 11-0 against those teams. Like, you had one close call against the Yankees, that Sunday night baseball game. The White Sox you swept pretty handily, and the Rays you dealt with pretty handily. Like, so those are the 3 best teams right now. And if you sit here and tell me, like, okay, like, well, what about the Guardians? They're currently a half game better than you. I'm not scared of the Cleveland Guardians. Like, they're, especially given that they've dominated the AL Central the way that they have this year. I mean, I wonder if I can see that against, oh, you can. Against the AL Central this year, the Red Sox are 14-8.
Yeah.
So, like, you can't tell me that the Cleveland Guardians scare you. And aside from that, like, okay, the Texas Rangers, same thing. They don't scare me. The Mariners are in a pretty similar position to you where, like, if you run into them in a short series, their pitching staff is so good, they are tough out. But, like, ultimately, does their lineup have enough to beat you in a 3-game series, especially if you have the Red Sox pitching? Like, it really does feel like the league is wide open, which we've said it time and time again. Like, how is that even possible from what we saw for the first 2 months of the season?
I am enjoying this so much, and I wasn't even remotely upset at the loss yesterday because, and Dave O'Brien said something at the end of, I think, the first Orioles game when they rattled off the 15 straight. He said, essentially, thanks to the guys for giving us our summer back. And that is exactly what it felt like for the first 3 months of this season. We had absolutely nothing to look forward to. And now to be able to talk about these trade deadline targets that could put this team over the top and potentially win the American League is not something I even remotely expected.
No, and I agree with the sentiment there. I was only sad that the streak ended just because I didn't want to see it end. Like, it was, and it kind of felt like, and we'll get into it as we continue to discuss these games in the Rays and Orioles series, but I was just like, man, like, this is the end, Like, it's just, it felt like the end of, not like an era, but like, yeah, it was just like, okay, this is coming to a close here. It just, so many things broke your way, and then finally things started to go the other direction, which sucked. But like you said, like, at least we have a season now. Like, we were, like I said, it's so much more fun, and it's so much easier to do these episodes and talk about this team, which we obviously spend so much of our lives doing. Like, so much easier to write about this team. Jeez. When it's not just the same nonsense over and over again. Like, it's not just, yeah, this team sucks, it's a new rock bottom, here's a new rock bottom story. Like, it's so much better when this team is good.
It for all accounts, like, I'm just happier in general. I'm waking up every day like, oh, the Red Sox just lost, they just got swept, they're awful, there's nothing to look forward to, they're gonna trade Garrett Whitlock, and I'm really gonna have no reason to watch this team. And now, I mean, the sky is the limit. I am marking my calendar, we're 10 days away from August 3rd. And now it feels like the Red Sox are going to be buyers. They're going to be heavy buyers. That's what Jeff Passan's saying. That's what other people are saying. Like, this run not only turned around the season, but also convinced the the front office to invest in this team. Because for the first half of this season, there was absolutely no reason to invest in this team. It was, let's get rid of all these spare parts and just recoup some assets because this is a lost season. I can't believe how quickly it changed. I mean, I guess that's what a 15-game heater does, but it's not something you see every day, and we probably won't ever see it again. I can't believe that this team did it.
Yeah, 80 years it hasn't happened, a 15-game winning streak from this team. So, like, there's a very real possibility that we don't see another run like this in our lifetimes.
I cannot believe this is the team that did it.
It really is. It's unbelievable. Like,
it's so funny.
For this squad to be the one to do it, and that's been the prevailing sentiment throughout the entirety of it. It's just like a prevailing, like, what are we watching? Like, what is happening? Like, every night it's somebody else that's stepping up and providing the big hit, whether it be Wilyer Abreu on Saturday or,
oh my God,
Caleb Durbin in the first game against Baltimore. It's just every single night, whenever you needed someone to get up there and get a hit, it was just like, all right, it's coming. Like, the hit's coming. And the way that and I guess this was really my biggest takeaway from the streak as a whole, is just the unbelievable resolve that this team has to go from where they were in the basement of the American League right next to the Angels and left for dead, but they didn't give up, and that was emblematic of the entire winning streak. Whenever they went down, you knew that they were immediately going to respond. It happened in Game 2 against Tampa Bay, where Eduardo Rivera, who we'll get into, but he comes in and sucks in the first inning, and you go down 2-0, and you immediately answer back with 3 of your own. So often throughout the rest of the season, you'd see this team get down, and in that first Yankee series that they got swept at Fenway in, it was just like, they got down by 4 runs in the first inning, the game's over. And they'd get down by a run, and it would be the 3 most pathetic at-bats that you've ever seen in your life coming out of that inning where they give up a run. And instead here it was, okay, we gave up 2 runs. How's about 3? We put up 3 right here on the board for you. Like, that's what this run was the entire time. It happened again on Saturday. Sandoval gives up 2 quick runs in the second inning. And Jahmai Jones, of all people, Jahmai Jones comes out there and he hits a 2-run home run to tie things up. And then in the bottom of the third, Wilyer hits his 3rd in 2 games. And obviously he hits his 4th in 2 games later in that game. But you immediately respond and you immediately come back and take the lead, and you just refuse to go away, which was just something that we weren't seeing. They were eager to go away early in the year.
It's well said. Like, again, how is this the same team that we saw the first 3 months of this season? It makes absolutely no sense. The pitching was dominant. It's been dominant all year, but you didn't see the lineup do anything remotely close to this for the first half. I can't wrap my head around it. Like you said, a new guy was contributing every single night, having the game-winning hit every single night. Wilyer Abreu, even Massa got involved in the first half of the winning streak. Like, I cannot believe it. And now we're at the point where I'm like, just keep Trevor Story away. I don't care if you're going on rehab assignments. Go to Changwon, bro. I can't do it. I don't want you messing with this mojo. I don't care that the streak's already over. Keep him away. He is bad vibes. I don't care. They have already better veteran leaders than Trevor Story now. And I know we're going all over the place here, but Chad Tracy last night after the streak ended was like, yeah, I had a message to deliver, and Sonny Gray and Wilson Contreras were already giving it. So I just let them cook, basically, is what he said. Yeah. So we don't need Trevor Story at all. Goodbye. See you later.
No, and obviously shortstop is a pretty big need for the Red Sox. I don't think that anybody is denying that. I'll pull up the numbers right now, but whether it be Trevor Story or Marcelo Meyer or Sung-Shae Chang, who has played a fantastic defensive shortstop, or Andrew Monasterio, they're simply not getting it done at shortstop at the plate. The Red Sox shortstops this year are hitting .235, .291, .347 with a 74 weighted runs created plus, which is the tied for the 4th lowest among all baseball. So obviously you need shortstop, but Trevor Story was one of, if not the worst hitter in baseball when he was healthy. I'll pull up the numbers right now, but he was giving you absolutely nothing. And I don't care that, oh, he was playing through an injury, he was this, he was that. The large majority of the sample size of his time in a Red Sox uniform, he's either been bad or hurt. I'm not going to say just because he was good for 1 year that, okay, no need to get Zach Neto. We're okay. We have Trevor Story, Jeremy Pena. We're okay. We have Trevor Story. Like, no, I'm not at that point at all. And I'm certainly not at that point with Marcelo Meyer either, who we'll get into it. I still believe in Marcelo Meyer as a player and as a prospect. But at what point can you rely on him? Like, there were growing pains and you knew there were going to be growing pains. Now this is no longer a season where you can live with those growing pains with him continuing to be in the starting lineup. Like, when he's healthy, is more likely than not going to be optioned to AAA. And I think that's by far the right move. Like, it's not worth it for him to ride the bench and not get consistent at bats and not develop. So you need to send him somewhere where he can get consistent at bats and continue to develop. And right now, that's in AAA.
It's fine. I mean, you say it all the time. Development isn't linear, and people who are ready to like ship Roman Anthony and Marcelo Meyer out of town because they weren't a part of this winning streak are absolutely insane. Like, the fact that that thought even crossed your mind shows me you don't know ball. Like, how can we be sitting here being like, clearly the Red Sox don't need Roman Anthony because they rattled off 16. I just shook my entire desk because they rattled off 15 in a row. Like, spare me on that. We cannot be doing that. I understand there are pipe dream trades that I probably would give up Roman Anthony for, but like, I mean, how can you? You still need him. He is still the focal point of your future. Like, we cannot even be discussing this.
Ultimately, there's still only like a list of 5 to 10 players I would trade Roman Anthony 1-for-1 for in the entire league.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I'll just go through them quickly. James Wood, Bobby Witt, Paul Skeens, Jacob Mizorowski, end of list.
Maybe like Kevin McGonigal.
Nope. I'd rather have Roman still.
Yeah, that probably is it.
Like, yeah, I would rather have a guy that's like established at the major league level. Not that McGonigal hasn't been fantastic this year, but Roman was fantastic last year.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I mean, the fact that people are so worried that he's like sent to Fort Myers and recovering over
he's
there,
not even
like
close. Like, that's what it comes down to. He's just not close to returning.
Do you think we see him again this season?
Yes, but also if we fast forwarded to the end of the year and they were like, yeah, he just didn't come back, that wouldn't surprise me at all either.
What about Crochet?
I think he's going to be a reliever.
Ooh, that gets the juices going.
Yeah, especially because we had that report from Mark Feinsand this afternoon that they were looking to add another high leverage reliever and potentially a starter, which we'll get into as we get into the trade deadline stuff after we talk about these games. But I think you only have so many assets to expend in your farm system. So if you're looking to add a starter and you're looking to make a big splash in your lineup and you're looking for a high leverage reliever, like, you only have so many of these chips to go around. So if you think that you can get Crochet back down the stretch in a reliever role, like, how much more high leverage of a reliever can you get than the 2025 Cy Young Award runner-up?
Can you imagine him coming out of the bullpen now? Like, he was great with the White Sox out of the pen, but this is a new level of Garrett Crochet as long as he's healthy. Like,
right. Well, and that's the thing. If he's healthy enough to like really let it bark, he could be touching like 103, 104.
That's what I'm thinking.
In an inning spurt, like, that's yeah. It's like, oh shit, like, we just saw Ranger Suarez for the first 6 innings, and now here comes Garrett Crochet, Garrett Whitlock, and Aroldis Chapman to slam the door. It's like, all right, yeah, see you later.
Garrett Crochet is your 7th inning guy. Oh yeah, my God.
They could really use him anywhere. Like, it's just like, oh, like, okay, in a playoff series, we know how aggressive teams get with their bullpen management. It could be the 4th inning and you wind up with a bases loaded 1-out situation and you go to the pen and it's Garrett Crochet, get us out of this jam.
Oh my God. That thought didn't even cross my mind before this. And now I need to see it. Yeah, if that's the only way we get him back, then I'm all in.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And he said, like, he all but admitted that they're going to wind up getting that extra year on his contract. Yeah. He's like, it'd be pretty tough for me to get back by then. And then he like kind of was like, well, like, it sucks, but like, also, like, Boston's a place where I want to be, so.
Yeah, I feel bad for him that his beer sucks from Sam Adams because I love the guy, but the beer, I can't do it. I'm sorry. I can't do it.
I still gotta try those.
I
Maybe I'll
still
make a
have
video
them.
on it. Oh yeah, I feel like the last time we had this conversation, we talked about how you still had them. Yeah, I gotta try them.
They might be skunked now, but
Oh,
they're
dang. I mean,
it's still
what are
worth
they
a
like?
try.
What are they like? $20? I can drive up to the liquor store and buy a pack. Like,
Yeah, come
no,
through and
yeah,
we'll do a review.
yeah. I'm in. Talk me into it.
Okay. We'll make that happen eventually. Maybe a playoff series, a little live stream.
Oh, you could talk me into that. A live stream for a playoff game. Yeah, that might be what the people need.
Yeah, while we're drinking beer. I
Yeah,
mean, come on.
right.
Okay. Anyway,
Right.
we should probably talk about these games.
Yeah, I think I got my points. I don't know if you have anything on the first two games of the Rays series, but I think I got everything on there.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I already said it, like coming out of the break, blowing them out was sick. And then game 2, I I cannot believe they won because Eduardo Rivera tried to end it there. Ultimately, he succeeded against the Orioles in the finale. But man, after seeing him against the Yankees and seeing him kind of shove against the Yankees, I was like, there might be something here. Now I'm out. I'm good.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
thanks.
I'm all set. Yeah. Speaking of being all set, Patrick Sandoval. Even if
Oh,
starter is a sneaky big need at the deadline, as you look to kind of limit the innings of Bennett, Tolley, and eventually early when he gets healthy, you need an innings eater to do that. And Sandoval has not been anything close to that in his first two starts. Nothing has been easy for him. And I understand he hasn't pitched in 2 years, but similar to the way that you're not in a position where you can let Marcelo Meyer figure things out at the big league level when he's back, I don't know that you're in a position where you can sit here and let Patrick Sandoval figure things out being back on a big league mound for the first time in 2 years. I don't see it. If you can get a team that's like, oh, we need a starter and we're willing to take the shot on Patrick Sandoval, I still think you need to trade that chip in. That just is something that has to be cashed in. Even if you are just going out there and acquiring another more established starter. Like even when Sandoval was fully healthy, I never would have categorized him as a innings eater per se. His career high is 148 and 2/3.
yeah, I'm thinking like an Adrian Hauser, one of those guys who's like just the fifth man in a rotation, like a depth piece.
Yeah,
I don't know why he was the first one who came to mind.
I would have even considered like Michael Waka in that group before, but I was listening to the Baseball America podcast with JJ Cooper, Ian Cundall, and I forget who the other guy they have on there is, but they were running through a bunch of mock trades, and someone sent in a trade of Jet Williams, who of course was one of the headliners for Freddie Peralta, 1-for-1 for Michael Waka, and they were all like, "Yeah, I think that's probably about right for Michael Waka." And like, I mean, if that's the price, then I'm all set on that type of price for Michael Waka. They're bigger needs. Like you need to be expending most of your assets here to add a premier bat to the lineup.
I mean, that has to be step one. I understand you can benefit from some additional starting depth and probably another high leverage reliever, but I think the bullpen has been largely pretty solid, and you do have depth pieces still. Like, again, where is Tyler Samaniego? I just don't get it. I don't know what we're doing there.
It seems like they're going to give Gamboa some run here.
Why?
I mean, that could all change on Sunday because Sunday's the only day they don't have a starter name for in this Blue Jay series. So that seems like the logical spot for Ranger Suarez to come back.
You would hope. I know he got delayed partly because of rain and partly because he was sick, and also
yeah.
So I'm not like overly worried. Yeah, who could that be? But I'm not overly worried about it. I think maybe there will be a little rust when he ultimately comes back. Could be on a pitch limit, but
you need him back. We saw them manage him pretty tightly when he first came back from the hamstring earlier.
Good point.
So yeah, I bet we see him maybe not fully unleashed.
That was one of our gripes with Chad Tracy early on too, was like, you're just letting the rookies go wild, and then Ranger Suarez gets pulled at 90 pitches. And now he has shredded every inch of doubt I've had on him as the manager of the future. I think we kind of already touched on it, but like, how is he not in the manager of the year conversation after this too?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll pull up the odds right now, actually. But like, who else? Like, if they finish this turnaround and make the playoffs, how does he not win manager of the year? I don't care that like the Rays were really good or like the Guardians were good. Who else could get it? Like, I fail to believe that any of those guys are more
Will
deserving than the
Venable?
guy. But even so, like, how is the White Sox are, where can you even find manager of the year odds?
Maybe like FanDuel.
That's where I was just looking on Pickett because it gives you like an overview of them all. But yeah, like Will Venable, like the White Sox are way better and they're way ahead of schedule. But the Red Sox were one of the worst teams in baseball and turned things around and are going to wind up making the playoffs. The White Sox have just been good all year. Like, to me, that's more impressive.
I agree. I mean, the White Sox weren't expected to be winning their division, but I think they were a little bit further along just based on how the overall season went for them. Like, they started off pretty hot.
This is from 2 days ago. It has Chad Tracy has the third best odds for manager of the year behind Will Venable and Kevin Cash.
Yeah, Kevin Cash, dude. I refuse to see it. I know. Didn't he probably already won one too, and that feels like an award where they share the wealth more than actually give it to the most deserving guy. Except I think Stephen Vogt and Pat Murphy both won it back-to-back years.
Yeah.
Which, man, we may be headed for a third because the Brewers, I think, right now have the best record in the league again.
Oh, do they? Or they jumped the Dodgers? Why can't you? There are no awards on MGM right now. Probably because
interesting.
Oh, never mind. Here they are. Manager of the year winner. So updated odds. Yeah, it's still Will Venable plus 120, Kevin Cash plus 240, Chad Tracy plus 700.
Yeah, I don't like that. I mean, I guess it depends how the rest of the season unfolds too. Because if you ultimately don't make the playoffs, then yeah, I wouldn't give it to them. But if they even sneak in, how do you not? I just, especially for a guy who's an interim manager. I mean, they're not going to remove that tag before the end of the year. Like,
they could
has never been seen before.
I mean, I wouldn't discount them removing the interim tag. I mean, he certainly earned it at this point.
Yeah, I just don't know if they do it mid-season.
Yeah, I mean, if you like, I guess it kind of depends on how they look at it. Like, is he the guy that Breslow would have gone with? Because this is Breslow's first chance to bring in his own manager. Like, maybe he does want to kind of shop around and see what other ideas people have. But like, ultimately, I think you're at the point where people would be pissed. Like, you'd be screwing Chad Tracy if you didn't give him the full-time job at this rate.
That and the players seem to like him a lot too. Like, multiple guys have been talking about it throughout this streak and even really before it. But I didn't see it at first, but now I mean, it's clear he's grown into the role throughout this season. And like, how do you not give him another year at least?
Right. Well, and it's what stood out to me. I don't know if you saw the Alex Spear article earlier. Where he was talking about Milliken tweeted the. Geez, yeah, what is it? Is there a?
My sister's having I don't know doing something.
Yeah. But this is from an Alex Spear article in the Globe earlier. He texted the team after that Colorado series. I'm not going to turn on you. I know what you're going through. I've been here. All these losses, we're doing it together, and we're going to find a way to win together. When you guys are rolling in the expletive, I assume he said shit. We're rolling in it with you. And when we get to the point where all the flowers come out, we'll be there with you. And that is something that like really resonated with them. Like, yeah, like we're feeling it with you. So yeah, I mean, like I think it's clear now at this point that while I do still believe that Alex Cora is a fantastic major league manager, I don't know that he was the right manager for this particular job. I've heard a lot of like pretty ridiculous takes about Alex Cora as a manager over the course of this run. And like they're just using like tearing down Cora to build up Tracy. Like, oh, Cora doesn't know how to manage a bullpen. Cora doesn't know this. Cora doesn't know that. They can both be good managers. And I think that's ultimately what we have found ourselves with.
Yeah.
At least that's where I land.
Yeah. I mean, the 15-game heater does not make me more okay with them moving on from Cora how they did. Like a guy who gave you so much and the way they treated him on the way out, like it was just a mess. And he wasn't a guy who deserved that. And I still believe that none of what happened throughout the first month of the season was his fault. But at the same time, I also do think Chad Tracy is the guy now. Like, it's pretty obvious.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, he's resonated with the group. He already had the connection with the guys that you deemed your most important players, Roman Anthony, at the time, Marcelo Meyer, and now Peyton Tolley, Connolly Early, the guys he has familiarity with, Jake Bennett as well. Like, so now for him to grow into the role with Wilson Contreras and some of these other veteran guys, it's like, to me, it's clear. Like, I would be completely shocked if it wasn't. Like, I'm going to write about it in the next week or so. I would imagine I'll get to it, but I'm ready to remove the interim tag and give him a multi-year contract right now.
Yeah. I'm with you there. I didn't mean to get us on this tangent, but where were we at game-wise? Is game 3 of the Rays series?
Game 3 of the Rays series, yeah.
All right. What do you got?
Willie Abreu, him breaking out of that slump that he was in. I wrote about it in my biggest takeaways of the first half, that maybe this is just who Willie Abreu is, and he immediately said, oh yeah, this is who I am. How about 4 home runs in 2 days, including an incredibly clutch go-ahead home run, and was it the 7th, 8th inning in that Saturday game? But his first 42 games, he hit 310 with an 860 OPS. His next 50 games, he hit 221 with a 677 OPS. And out of the break, he's hitting 269 with an 1114 OPS. And it really was a ridiculous move from Kevin Cash. The Nationals did it. I want to say it was the Nationals, did it a couple weeks ago, where they went to a lefty in a high leverage spot against him. And I was like, man, what are these people looking at? Like, do they not understand that he has reverse splits? And it ended up working out for the Nationals. It did not end up working out for Kevin Cash there, because he absolutely pooped on one and gave the Red Sox a lead. And bat spike, the celebration, screaming at the dugout, everything about it was awesome. And it's been comped to a lot, but it's a lot very similar to his WBC home run that he hit for Team Venezuela, where like I would love to see more of that emotion from not like just guys on the Red Sox, but everybody. Like, that's what makes the WBC so fun, is that these guys get fired up and they're pimping their home runs and spiking their bats and screaming. Like, that stuff is entertaining. Like, I don't care. Like, oh, shut up and run around the bases. Like, shut up. Like, no. Like, it's a game. We're supposed to be having fun. I've remained consistent on that for forever, really. Like, it's a game. We're supposed to be having fun playing a game. And like, if you don't want guys to pimp their home runs, how about you don't give them up? Like, Max Muncy said it. Go fish it out of the ocean.
That was an incredible interaction. I kind of forgot about that whole thing. Wasn't it with Bumgarner?
Bumgarner, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're a pitcher and you want to be a bitch about giving up a home run, here's an idea. Don't serve up a meatball. Like,
yeah.
Like, you want to scream, you want to huff and puff and scream when you get out of a jam or get a big strikeout, fine. But when you serve up a turkey, like, those guys are allowed to celebrate it too. Like, Madison Bumgarner is such a loser.
Yeah, he was such an interesting guy. And he also, didn't he throw like a 7-inning no-hitter one time and it didn't count because it was a 7-inning game?
But yeah, those don't count. Yeah.
No.
No-hitter.
It was pretty wild though.
Yeah.
Was it? I think that was COVID season.
Yeah, it must have been, because they were 7-inning double headers.
Oh, what a weird blip on the radar that is.
Thank fucking God they did not stick with the 7-inning doubleheaders. I like so many of the changes that they've made. I like the pitch clock. I like the ABS. What other radical changes have they made? The bases being bigger or whatever. I like the disengagements. There are two. I would have absolutely despised 7-inning doubleheaders, and the other one I hate is the 3-batter minimum.
Oh yeah, I get it speeds up pace of play, but like
by how much? Like, how much are we really speeding up the pace of play by having a 3-batter minimum? And it completely eliminated a massive part of strategy.
I mean, that's what I was going to say. Like, there are guys whose roles in the bullpen were just to get one out as a lefty. Like, they're ruined.
No place for a guy like Tommy Lane in today's Major League Baseball. No place for a guy like Craig Breslow in today's Major League Baseball.
Not a bad point. Let's see. Anything else? Game 3?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Oh, well, Dave O'Brien's call was sick for
Oh
that
yeah,
Willier homer. And I mean, the Red Sox are doing well when OB wakes up. Like
yeah.
he had the call last year with the Rafaela walk off, and he was electric this whole series. And so was Will Fleming, of course. I mean, Will Fleming's always electric, so I don't feel like I need to say it as much. But that was so cool to finally see him going, and also have Eck in the booth, which I think we'll get to later.
Yeah, for the same people that hate like Willie Abreu's bat spike and stuff, are the same people that don't like Will Fleming. They hate people that show emotion.
Yeah. I don't understand how you can hate that guy. I mean, it is just so clear how much he actually cares about the team and is not just doing it for a paycheck because
Right. He's the regional broadcaster of the team. He's the home broadcaster of the team. He's supposed to be rooting for the team to win, and he does. Like,
yeah.
that's why people like Jack Edwards. That's why people liked Tommy Heinsohn. That's why people liked Jerry Remy. Like, they were rooting for the team to win. People's complaints with Dave O'Brien is that he doesn't root for the team to win enough. Like, and then on the flip side, you have Will, who lives and dies with every outcome of every single game, and people don't like him. Like, people just like to, like, and part of it is just like old people will complain about everything and anything, and they're such fucking losers when it comes to talking about baseball. Like, for whatever reason, everyone has the mentality of like the Yankees, like, oh well, we wear white because we're part of like the white collar New York community. You can't have beards because you're a professional. Like, every like that type of thinking and logic is like the complete antithesis to everything that baseball should be about.
Yeah, I mean, it's how you grow the game. It's how you modernize with the times, and baseball's always been delayed with that sort of thing. I think they're kind of taking strides towards it. Like, I
They're
mean, the
trying
home
to,
run
but like
derby.
they're trying to, but like also like the home run derby, yes, like you turn the home run derby, you get a cool chain. You're trying to appeal, like you have like was it 2 years ago that Tristan Casas hosted like a TikTok broadcast for the home run
Yeah,
derby?
I think so.
Like they're trying to do shit like that, but then you hide it away on Netflix and you say, oh well,
Right.
every household has Netflix. Who doesn't have Netflix? It makes it harder to access, and the home run derby numbers reflect that. It was one of the lower rated home run derbies in recent memory because you tucked it away on Netflix, or you have some serious momentum in the game with your young stars, Paul Skeens, Mizorowski, James Wood, Nick Kurtz, like these young entertaining stars. And now you're going to go into a lockout. Like, it's just, they're a league that can't help but shoot themselves in the foot at every turn.
Yeah, I guess I was trying not to think about the lockout, but it is getting closer. I mean, we're probably only what 5-6 months away from it now.
Yeah, it's December 2nd is when the lockout starts.
Oh, that's just brutal. We're not
Yeah,
even going to get a free agency.
Yeah. No, yeah.
No winter
Yeah.
meetings.
No, yeah.
That's an
It's like
underrated
right
part of how happy I am that the Red Sox are relevant.
Oh yeah, because you don't know what next year's going to look like, and you can't bank on like I think they're going to miss games. Like I find it hard to believe that either side is going to budge. We talked about it on the last episode, but we discussed what the players at the All-Star game said, and the owners seem really hell-bent on making as much money as possible. So I just don't see how it ends without missing games.
Nope, I'm with you there. Let's see here. Game 4 against the Rays, we haven't gotten to yet.
No, yeah. Again, you're never out of the game. Victor Mesa, of all people, hits an inside the park home run because Connor Wong can't catch a baseball, and then
yeah.
you immediately answer back in the bottom half. Sonny Gray kind of grinding through it in that one, a lot of traffic, but was able to dance in and out of it. The Rays went 0 for 15 with runners in scoring position in this one, but we've seen it time and time again with Gray this year. He hasn't always had his best stuff, but it's gritty, not pretty with him, which is exactly what you want out of a guy like him, a 36-year-old veteran who's been around the block, knows what it takes to get outs at the big league level. And I think that's an underrated part of what Gray brings to this Red Sox clubhouse. Like, Bennett, Tolley, Early, for so much of their careers, they've been the best player on the field. And there is no like, oh, I don't have my best stuff today, because even their best stuff certainly in high school and growing up was still exponentially better than anything anybody else was throwing, but certainly through the minors too. Like even when they didn't have their best stuff, it wasn't to the point where guys were taking advantage of it the same way that major league hitters are going to. But Gray can go out there and say like, okay, I don't know my best stuff tonight, but here's how I'm going to be crafty and manufacture outs and still find a way to have an effective outing. And he did exactly that in this game against Tampa Bay. And obviously they did you some favors by going 0 for 15 with runners in scoring position, but I give Gray a lot of credit for that happening as well.
We talked about it last episode, and I was like, I feel like you probably still trade Sonny Gray. Now at this point, I really don't know if they should. Maybe
tough,
if you're blown away.
With the Crochet comments, it makes it tough. Like you said, maybe if you're blown away, but I just don't know with the state that your rotation's in with all these rookies rapidly approaching their career highs. I don't know exactly where they're at right now, but I would imagine they're all within a handful of innings of them at this point.
Yeah, definitely. And now we're seeing a little bit more, I guess, hot stove, not really, but talking about the Red Sox bringing in potential depth starters. We already talked about it this episode, but now I'm more on the end of like, I would rather add to the rotation than trade Sonny Gray.
Yeah, I think I fall there with you. I mean, even if it is a 1-year deal, like you said, you don't know when you're going to play baseball again next year. Like, yeah, why not go for it this year?
Yeah. And I mean, again, the American League is so wide open that if you do keep Gray, you probably have the best rotation in the league. And like we already said, in a short series to go Ranger Suarez, Sonny Gray, Peyton Tolley, like, oh my God.
With Garrett Crochet coming out of the bullpen.
Yeah, like that is way more confident than I was with Brian Bayo starting game 2 last year against the Yankees. Like, it's awesome to see a rotation this good. It's probably the best rotation we've ever seen, at least in my years of watching the Red Sox.
Oh yeah, definitely. I wrote about it. I think I touched on it in the last episode. This is on pace to be one of the 5 best Red Sox pitching staffs since 1975.
Yeah, like how is this team making history this frequently?
I mean, the pitching staff was supposed to be this good. It's been the offense that has been like, whenever we talked about like when they were bad, it has rarely been like the pitching falter. It's been the offense can't hit their way out of a wet paper bag.
Yeah, good point. Let's see. Anything else from game 4?
Nope. That's it for the Rays series. You sweep the best team in the American League. And like to me, like that showed you that you're not only coming for the wild card, like the division is completely back in play now.
It is. I mean, what are they now? Like 7 games back?
6.5.
6? Okay. Yeah, I mean, it is doable. You're only, what, math, 4.5 back of the Yankees? 3.5?
Yeah, 4.5 back of the Yankees.
Yeah. So
and how many more do you have against Tampa? You have
at least one series.
More. Yeah, you have 3 more against Tampa. End of the
How
year.
many more against the Yankees? Is it just one more series? It might be 2 more.
No, I think it's just 1. August 28th through the 30th.
That feels low.
But you only play them 13 times now.
I guess. And if
they played them in New York in June. Then they came back in and they played them in April too, didn't they, when they got swept? Yeah. 3 games. Yeah. 3 games set in April, you got swept. You played 3 against them in early June, where you split and you'll have a doubleheader against them in that.
Right.
Yeah, so 4 more against the Yankees, 1 more series.
That was another one where we're like, what does this team look like end of August? Like the Yankees gave themselves a win pretty much.
Yeah, because they opted to, because they go back. The Yankees controlled whether they played a doubleheader the next day or at a later date. Yeah, and the Yankees
now that could be big.
Free win. Now the Red Sox could have earned a free win with the way that, like, I mean, Aaron Judge, every update, Aaron Judge is in the same black hole that Roman Anthony and Garrett Crochet are in.
Oh no, it's such a shame.
Yeah, real shame.
Not that I would wish injury on anyone, but now that he's already hurt, I'm like, okay, well, take your time.
I not that I wish injury on guys, but like, I'm certainly not that, jeez,
broken up by it.
Yeah, I'm certainly not that Chud Jack meme where it's like, I hate when the opposing team's star gets injured. I don't hate it, per se.
No, I mean, it's hard to hate it. I'm not like wishing death on the guy, but like, you
No, I
know,
hope he survives. Let's just say
yeah,
if Aaron Judge never played baseball again, I wouldn't be broken up about it.
no. An underrated part of that is like that contract is not great. It's not aging very well.
Yeah, but I mean, if he's done this his entire career. If he misses the majority of this year and then comes back and hits 60 home runs and then misses the majority of the 28 season and then in 29 comes back and hits 50 home runs, like kind of the give and the take. And I saw, I think it was Jay Hay on Baseball is Dead was like, the Yankees are in serious danger of never winning with the greatest Yankee of the modern era. Like, I mean, and even like, who was the last guy that you'd have to go back to say that Aaron Judge was worse than them in Yankees history? I guess A-Rod, but before A-Rod.
Off the top of my head, I don't even know.
Like, I think there's a real chance Judge might be better than, like, he might be the best player. A-Rod's the best Yankees player since DiMaggio, but I think Judge might be number 2.
I mean, he's definitely better than Jeter.
Yeah,
Jeter is so overrated.
Yeah, he's better than all those guys.
Oh, yeah.
He's better than Gary Sheffield.
Totally.
Bernie Williams, yeah. Don Mattingly, yeah. He's better than all those guys. Yeah, I think, like, A-Rod, Judge, DiMaggio in the last 60 years, those might be the 3 best Yankee players. And Judge is going to wind up with 0 rings. Because he's a loser. Like, I mean, he's like, there are some guys that just aren't winning players, and Aaron Judge is not a winning player.
Well said. I don't think I have anything to add there. But I am kind of looking forward to that series now. Like,
right.
On the opposite end of things, I thought, like, what's the point when they were 14 games below 500, and now I'm hopefully looking forward to it. I mean, really, the trade deadline is the brick wall in the way of everything. Like, I'm still not fully confident that Breslow has it handled.
No, I'm not either.
But I guess I'm more confident than I was, because it seems like I don't want to say he's desperate because we already said it, but like his job is pretty much safe for this year and probably next year. But like at a certain point, we do have to see some sort of results.
Yeah. Well, and like his 2 deadlines, and I'm cautiously optimistic heading into this deadline, and we'll get more into it, but it's shaping up to be a lot like last year's deadline, which brings me no pleasure in saying that, because in the weeks leading up to the deadline, it obviously centered around Joe Ryan, but it's like, oh my God, they're going to get Joe Ryan. And now it's like Shea Langoliers, Zach Neto, Hunter Goodman. They're going to get they're going to make a splash. They're going to get aggressive. And then all of a sudden you wind up with Dustin May, and it's like, geez, like I don't know who this year's Dustin May would be in terms of lineup upgrades, but like we're gonna get Hunter Goodman, we're gonna get Shea Langoliers, we're gonna get Jeremy Pena, and you wind up with Eugenio Suarez. Like, while it would be an upgrade, like, and it's better than Dustin May, but like that still is like a sad trombone compared to some of the other names that were being discussed.
Yeah, it more so worries me just how many bidders there are going to be. Like, I don't trust Breslow to be the highest bidder with anyone.
Well, it's going to take some serious conviction. And I wrote about it when I wrote about the Zach Neto rumor today. But like, if they make a big swing for a Neto or a Goodman or a Langoliers, that's up there with the 3 ballsiest moves that Breslow's made, with trading Devers and trading for Crochet. Like, those are the 3 times, those are the 2 times we've seen Breslow act with like serious conviction.
Yeah, one was really good. One was franchise crippling. Like, I don't
have to make a 3rd move with plenty of conviction to make up for the error of
which is basically what I was going to say, and I didn't really want to get into it.
Yeah, we don't need to get into the Devers. We don't need to relitigate the Devers. We're having fun right now.
Yes. Let's get to the Orioles series.
Game 1, 6-5. How about Caleb Durbin? I mean, just unbelievable turnaround, and we'll get into it as we get into the Jersey of the series after we talk about these games. But first 52 games, he hit 182, 250, 280, 530 with the lowest WRC plus among all qualified hitters at 44. And since June 1st, he's hitting 298, which leads the Red Sox, and he's second in on-base percentage at 355, slugging percentage at 539, OPS at 894, and WRC plus at 143. He's been the 30th best hitter by WRC plus in baseball since June 1st. It's an incredible turnaround. And to that point that we were talking about earlier, it was somebody different every single night. And it was Caleb Durbin's turn in game one, and he hits that massive home run, and the place goes nuts. And like we get all these pictures of, it's like everybody's sitting in the dugout and all these reactions like, you got to be shitting me. Like, you have Wilson Contreras get rung up on that check swing where it looked like it could have gone either way. It looked like maybe he just barely went around, and they pan to the dugout and you see Cedar Rafaela with his arm wrapped around Contreras, and then Contreras like knocks it off him and jumps over the dugout railing and is pumped about the home run. But yeah, it's every single night, and Durbin's been one of the biggest contributors. Like I just said, he leads you in batting average and is only behind Wilson Contreras in pretty much every other offensive category. And he's been a major part of this turnaround. It's unbelievable to think of. And especially now, like, you look back and Kyle Harrison's on the injured list, and before that, in his last 5 starts, he had an ERA north of 6. The fact that this conversation about this trade is anything other than, man, what a fleece by the Brewers with the way that it looked like for the first 2 months is a borderline miracle.
It is. It really is. I mean, I was waving the white flag in May after I tabbed him as my breakout player of the season. I called him
one of my least favorite Red Sox players of all time.
He's electric. He's awesome. Like, he's tiny. He's Dustin Pedroia. That is basically what he is. No, he's not. He's not as good as Dustin Pedroia, but he gives Dustin Pedroia vibes. I'm trying to say.
And Kevin Millar said it the other day on Intentional Talk, but he does all the little things well. He contributes to winning even when things aren't going well at the plate. And I'll read the Millar quote. He never strayed. During every struggle, he never strayed from playing the game hard. He has everything that the makeup of a Boston Red Sox player is all about. Impeccable defense, runs the bases well, does a lot of other things in the game to help this team win. And now that the results are there at the plate, he's going to start reaping the benefits of being that type of player. And he's dead on. I mean, that is exactly the type of makeup, and it's what has made Wilson Contreras so beloved in the city in such a short period of time, is just that he plays the game hard and he is willing to do whatever it takes to win and fire things up. Like, it's just, and that's why in the post game with Fleming and Lenny, I want to say it was, for game one, they had Contreras on. He was like, we're gonna start calling him Mini Bowser. And somebody tweeted, was like, somebody let Wilson Contreras know that Bowser Jr. exists. Like, those two guys have been the heartbeat of the offense for the last however long. And it really is important because Jarren Duran has been the worst hitter in baseball.
Yeah, real quick, I think it's so funny that Wilson Contreras has no idea about any Mario lore whatsoever.
Yeah, he had no clue who Bowser was until people started calling him that, and now he's like, they call him Mini Bowser. It's like, buddy, I hope you're sitting down.
A movie just came out with him, by the way. Like, I didn't watch that movie, surprisingly.
I didn't either. Yeah, I didn't.
That's a Peacock movie when it comes out. Like, I'm not paying money to go see it.
Yeah, there are so few movies that I'm willing to go to the theaters for nowadays.
Yeah, are you in on the Odyssey?
Oh, I'm big in on the Odyssey. I haven't seen it yet because I've been waiting. I want to go to the 70 millimeter one in Providence, but in order to get tickets for that, it's booked through August 9th.
Yeah.
I can get seats in the front 2 rows of the theater, and I'm like, I'm just not doing that. I was told to just go see it in a regular theater, and then once you can get tickets to the actual IMAX of it all, do that. So I'm probably going to wind up doing that, but I've been hawking the Apple Cinemas website in Providence trying to get tickets for it, and it's just impossible.
Yeah, I think I am going to have to go see it. They were showing it at the drive-in, and that's where I draw the line. Like, I cannot watch a 3-hour movie like that at the drive-in.
No, and we went to the drive-in. We took the dog to the drive-in 2 years ago now in Mendon, and we saw I forget which Quiet Place it was. The like prequel to all the Quiet Place movies. I forget what it was called. And then it was like Minions 3 or something like that. I don't know, something. Well, one of the Despicable Me's after that, but like that was fun. But a movie like The Odyssey, I need to see in a theater. I don't need to see that in like I'd go see it in a drive-in after I've already seen it, but I don't know that I'm seeing it in a drive-in for the first time.
I do want to go to the drive-in. That reminds me that
we had fun. We set up like an air mattress in the back seat of the car. Like that was the first time I've ever been to one, and it was an enjoyable experience.
It's awesome, dude. You just eat snacks in your car. It was a lot of fun. I grew up going to the drive-in. I went last summer. I saw like
Where
Deadpool.
even is there one around here? We went to the one in Mendon.
It's Mendon. Yeah. Oh, I just go to Mendon. Yeah. Okay. Aren't many left.
No, I was gonna say I feel like there used to be one in Rhode Island that maybe we went to like once, as like a baseball team, coming back from a tournament. But aside from that, I think that was the first drive-in experience that I can remember.
And that was talking drive-ins. I don't know how we got there. Let's see. Shout out Caleb Durbin. Anything else on game 1?
Nope.
Okay, game 2.
Game 2, first one, shout out Caleb Durbin. 2 RBI single in the first inning, part of a 3-run first inning where it was nice of number 16 to show up. And I mentioned it earlier, but he was a guy that we are not far removed from Alex Cora saying like everybody should play the game the way that Jarren Duran plays the game. When I go back and talk to my twins about how they play the game, I'm like, you should play the game the way that Jarren Duran does. And now he is one of the worst players in baseball with absolutely no trade value. And every single week there's a new off the field issue with this guy. Like he's trying to beat up podcasters for tweeting pictures. Like, dog, I don't know if you know this. It was on television. It was on Nesson. He took the picture off of his television and tweeted it. Like you did that in public in a stadium that is capable of being filled with up to 30,000 people, I presume more at Target Field. Like you are doing these things on the field. Like you can't be mad at people for then doing their jobs. Like Tyler Milliken's job is to tweet things like Jarren Duran flipping off a fan in Minnesota. These people that are talking about you doing that are doing their jobs the same way that you're not doing yours when you go out there and you want to hit 149, 201, 243 with a 444 OPS since June 1st. Like it is asset mismanagement to a T. Since June 1st, I just gave you the numbers. He's got a WRC plus of 15. We are talking about the level that Christian Campbell was before he got sent down. We are talking about one of the worst players in all of baseball in Jarren Duran. And for whatever reason, he has this weird group of cult following that just refuse to like say anything other than the fact that he's one of the worst hitters in baseball. Like, I don't understand where we got so soft as a fan base where we can't call a guy who is like among the most unlikable players in the history of the team. Like, I don't know how you like this guy. He is a bad person and a bad baseball player. Like, and you have completely blown it. You have completely blown this asset that you should have cashed in on 2 years ago. He's one of the 5 worst hitters in baseball, and the off-field stuff, and some of it, of course, is on the field, but it carries out over onto off the field because of the way that he carries himself. Like, what team in baseball is going to trade for this guy? There isn't one. He's not a good enough hitter to warrant dealing with that on a daily basis. And now you have the lockout looming and he has no trade value. You're going to be stuck with this guy for another year as he continues to get worse and continues to get involved in off the field nonsense because he's a mental midget.
Yeah, the hope now is just that he rebuilds his value somehow, but it's been getting steadily worse every single year. Like I just don't see a way out of this. And I mean, I was on the other end of the fence for a while. Like I liked him.
We started this show 60 episodes ago. In episode 1, you were a big Jarren Duran guy.
No, I never bought the jersey. I mean, that's how you know I was never fully in, I guess.
It didn't take much convincing. It took like a handful of episodes. You were like, you know what? Yeah, let's trade him.
Yeah, it really didn't take that long. Now I want to go back. It's probably like episode 5.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, certainly. Yeah, it was definitely early on.
Yeah, get him out. I'm done. I don't care. It's kind of in the same. It's not in the same boat exactly, but it's I think of him the same way as Trevor Story, where I'm like, just keep him away from this team.
At least with Trevor Story, he's not a bad person as best we can tell off the field.
Right.
Like Jaron Duran is trying to fight podcasters for hurting his feelings.
But it is weird that they're like best friends, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
Makes you think.
They're just two hicks. I know Duran is obviously from California, but they're just two hicks, I think, is what it comes down to.
Yeah, that probably is it. Let's see. Anything else? Game 2.
Nope, I don't think that's it. Obviously, that's the one that ties the record, but we kind of already talked about how ridiculous that is. That this is the team that matched a team that had Ted Williams on it.
Oh, shout out to Zach for posting the Garrett Whitlock meme, because I was battling, man. I mean, of course I was watching, but I was also at work. So I propped up my phone on my water bottle, and I was in a meeting when they won. So
I think that's been the best part of my adult life is day games during the week have not been an issue for me since graduating. I was unemployed for the first year after graduating, and then I moved back home and went back to school, so that was not a problem for me. And then I've been working in sports media since then, so that's just a part of working is watching the day games. But I don't know if I've told this story on the show before, but when I was in college in 2018, do you remember the Brandon Phillips home run that he hit in Atlanta? Yeah. I was in class for that one, and I got asked to leave because I was not paying attention, and I had an AirPod in, and I was just sitting like this, and I just completely was like locked into the moment of the game, and I stood up and threw my hand up and like fist pumped after it went out, and they were like, "What?" The professor was like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? And I had to be like, I was watching a baseball game on my computer. And she was like, all right, you're done for the day. She did I forget who the umpire was, but the meme was like, boom, you're done. Tossed me right out. Just yossed me right. Did me a favor, because then I got to watch the rest of the game. I got to get my lift in early. Like,
yeah, I mean,
she was lucky I was there. To be like, credit to me for showing up to class. Like, so
what was the class? Do you remember?
It was like an ethics and journalism class, I want to say.
You weren't missing. Yeah, you weren't missing out.
It's like an ethics and communications class, because she had us separated into groups. It was one of like the core communication, school of communication classes, where we were separated into groups of like based on our major. So I was the only guy who was a journalism major in that class, and I was the only one that wanted to get into sports. But she had worked for CNN and a bunch of other places in the past. Ooh. So she was a reporter rather than like I was in a class with like marketing majors and like PR majors and all that stuff. So she definitely showed favoritism towards us, which was nice. So like, even though I pissed her off in that one instance, she still really liked me.
Yeah, I started laughing because I thought of my journalism ethics class that was at 8:50 in the morning, and
I would never have shown up to that.
Well, that's I went to the first 2 classes, and I didn't show up for the rest of the year, and I got a B. So I don't know how it happened, but
the earliest I scheduled my classes for in college were like 10:30, 11 a.m. and even those got dicey on most days.
I didn't have a choice. It was the only time it was available, and it was to the point where our professor was emailing us like, please come to class.
You have to show up.
I don't think any of us did.
Yeah,
I don't think any of us did.
No, I don't. That was talking college. That was 2 washed up fellas talking college.
Yeah. Game 3, I think, is the only one left.
Yep. Game 3, Orioles 5, Red Sox 1. Eduardo Rivera, you are the worst.
That was good.
Yes. This is also totally on Brian Bayo. They have zero faith in him to start a game, so you have to go to slapdicks like Eduardo Rivera to come in and open, and he already looked shaky against Tampa Bay, but the fact that you don't have faith in Brian Bayo to go out there and start a game is why you immediately get into a 2-0 hole, and it's flatly unacceptable. And Tracy said it before they demoted him, if we're going to win games, we need Brian Bayo to go out there and start, and they have not let him do that. I think that now every time he pitches, they're just trying to showcase him in a role where they know he's been good, in hopes that somebody goes, we can fix the first inning thing, and like just get rid of him as soon as possible. Because what other reason for it is there to go to Rivera in an opener role when you know he was already shaky against Tampa Bay?
I agree. I guess they didn't really have another choice aside from just starting Bayo, and it probably would have been the same result. So
sure, but at least then we can say like, okay, like Brian Bayo. And I saw people trying to blame Ranger Suarez, like he's got the sniffles, like he can't go out there and pitch with the sniffles. It's like I don't really have too much of a problem with that. Like ultimately, It's on the guys that are out there to go out there and execute, and they didn't. And also, they scored 1 run, so like unless Ranger Suarez was coming off the IL and pitching a shutout, then they weren't winning that game. Or like if Anthony Siegler, who we'll get into, was going to go out there and turn the tailor-made double play ball, like they weren't winning that game. They scored 1 run. I have a hard time. Like obviously Rivera came in and stunk up the joint and immediately put bad vibes out there, but the offense that had been showing up time and time again, it just wasn't there.
No. And I don't want to say it took the wind out of your sails, because I mean the wind is still fully in your sails right now.
Yeah, I mean in the moment it sucked to see it end. Like that's what it was. Like it's like, okay, like we started to see this, we saw it come to an end, and it was like, man, like that sucks. Like you still have the momentum of 15-1, like, and 20 of your last 23.
Right. Like I'm not worried, and the Blue Jays are coming to town. It is a little bit of a tough break on the pitching side of things, based on who you're facing.
See all their big arms, yeah.
So what does that look like? But even still, yeah, they did. That was when he was like doing barrel rolls. That was funny. But I mean, overall, I think you've already done enough to confirm that you should be buying, unless it gets catastrophic.
If anything, I think that loss in game 2 yesterday is all the more reason why you need to go out there and add an impact bat, because your offense doesn't do anything. Like that should be all the more reason to be like, okay, we got to go add some reinforcements to this lineup, and not only like just like plug in replacements, like a legitimate reinforcement, like a Hunter Goodman, like a Shea Langoliers, who look pretty unlikely as of right now, but like Zach Neto, John Heyman wrote that the John Mozeliak got the go-ahead to start shopping Neto around, or Jeremy Pena, who the Astros, I think you line up really well with the Astros on a deal. They have one of the worst pitching staffs in baseball. Like even if they are not willing to blow it up this year, I'd be willing to move one of Early or Bennett to land Jeremy Pena. Maybe not Early, but Bennett. Like Bennett, you're starting to see the wear and tear already. Like his velocity has been dropping into the low 90s, upper 80s in some of these appearances in the 5th, 6th inning. So like, how sustainable is that? Like, I think that you line up pretty well. Even if they do choose to blow it up, you have Kyson Witherspoon, you have Anthony Ianson, you have all these pieces, and you have proven your ability to takes. No, don't want to trade Ianson.
Oh, yeah, didn't like that one.
Yeah, she's out on trading Ianson. You have all these arms that you could trade, and you've proven your ability to backfill your pitching prospect and your pitching pipeline. So, like, to me, none of these pitchers are off limits. Besides Peyton, but
they shouldn't be. I mean, you haven't seen it consistently enough from anyone but Peyton Tolley. So,
and also the ceiling is so much higher.
Yeah, like I'm not losing sleep over trading Jake Bennett. I would be a little upset if they moved on from Early, but it also depends on the return.
I would be upset if they moved on from Early, but I also think I'm more emotionally attached to Early because of the relationship with Peyton Tolley. Like it's kind of like they're kind of like the pitching Marcelo Meyer and Roman Anthony.
They are, and now they're more fun to watch than those two at the moment.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know where I was going. On game 3. Once they scored 2 in the first inning and the offense didn't immediately respond, I was like, this might not be happening tonight.
Yeah, part of me was still relatively confident when they put up the 1. I think it was the 4th or 5th inning.
Yeah, and then Bayo immediately puts up another 0, and they were like, okay, we chip away again here. We're right back in it, but
didn't happen.
Yeah, ultimately was not meant to be. With that being said, Anthony Siegler, I'm all set. He's Mickey Gasper 2.0, and I said it in the Jersey of the Series voting group chat the other day, and I got pushback on this. People have lost their goddamn minds when talking about Anthony Siegler and Marcelo Meyer. Like, we don't need Marcelo Meyer. We've got Anthony Siegler. And like, well, Siegler was a first round pick of the Yankees in 2018, and he's found something, and he's been a real spark plug. Yes, Anthony Siegler brings incredible energy and vibes to the clubhouse. There is value in that. There is not value in him hitting leadoff for this team. There's not value in him being the everyday second baseman for this team. We're talking about, so Anthony Siegler's magically discovered something in his 8th year of professional baseball after being a first round pick. But Marcelo Meyer, who was a first round pick 4 years ago, 21, so 5 years ago, he's done. He's a lost cause. He hates baseball. He was just looking to get a bag. The relationship has gone sour on both sides. Like what are you people talking about? Like, these people would run rookie Ted Williams out of town. Like, these are the same people that would have had Xander Bogaerts DFA'd in 2014. Like, it's ridiculous the amount of heat, and the organization is to blame for this. The organization put all the pressure in the world on Roman Anthony and Marcelo Meyer to be the saviors of the organization, to step up and be the impact players that they are projected to be in their first full season of professional baseball. They simply have not been that. Anthony, the peripherals show that he was on the cusp of breaking out, and I think that the results on the field show that he was getting a little bit of bad luck with some of the hard hit balls and things like that. Like, Roman Anthony's going to be a star. People don't like that he gallivants about in selfie while he's injured, and I understand that to a certain extent, but like, ultimately, like, what's he supposed to do? Like, it's not like he's out there like doing things that are going to set back his, well, I guess he could be doing things that are going to set back his finger injury while he's out in selfie, but that's besides the point. Like, he can't swing until he's pain free. Like, there's no reason for them to rush him back from that. Like, they tried to ramp things up and it sent him back however many more months than that. Like, I don't understand it. We're praising Anthony Siegler because he's exciting to watch and he's a former first round pick, while we're discounting a guy who was the number one prospect in the entire sport. Like, I feel like people aren't understanding how special of a talent you have to be the number one prospect in the entire sport. Like, it's like ridiculous that we're writing him off, but also Marcelo Meyer, who is a really highly regarded prospect in his own right. Like, it's so annoying to hear people prop up, and like, this is going to sound like an attack on Anthony Siegler. It's more of an attack on these fans that are just like jumping on the Anthony Siegler bandwagon. In July, this guy's hitting 167 with a 505 OPS, and we're ready to ship off Marcelo Meyer because we have Anthony Siegler. Like, give me a break.
I don't know if I have much to add. I mean, the defense has been brutal. That has been arguably worse than him disappearing at the plate. Like, well, at least play good defense. Caleb Durbin played good defense when he wasn't swinging it.
Exactly. Yeah, Caleb Durbin was the worst qualified hitter in baseball for the first 2 months of the season, and was also running away with the Gold Glove in the American League at third base. Yeah. So like, you can live with, like, maybe you can't live with that because obviously we were bashing him, but like, at least you can say like, okay, like, the production at the plate has been awful, but at least he's not screwing up tailor-made double plays.
Yeah, and it's not just that. Like, he's had a few errors, a few just boneheaded moves at second base. Right. I'm a lefty. I've never played there, but it can't be that hard.
No, I played second base. It wasn't that hard.
Yeah, like, what are we doing, bro? It pisses me off more that he is the leadoff guy still, and we both said this like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I forgot they were leading off Mickey Gasper.
Yeah. It's Mickey Gasper 2.0, and now it's run its course, and they're going to hang on for who knows how long. But I mean, like, as we get into the trade deadline discussion here, like, it's worth noting that they have gotten some of the worst production out of their leadoff hitter in the entire league.
Yeah, real quick, Jersey of the series.
Yeah, let's do that, and then we can get into the leadoff numbers and all that stuff.
Yeah, unfortunately, Joe can't join us. What did he say he was doing?
He's playing roller hockey.
Roller hockey. Oh, that's cool.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, he was on the ask him next time he's going to listen to this and now be like, "Oh, come on." Like, so he played on the Northeastern roller hockey team, and in I forget what year it was. Our last year of college, I forget whatever year that would have been, 21. Maybe this was 22 because he did a grad program, so he had an extra year. So in 2022, I think it was, they made it to the whatever the roller hockey tournament that they play for the national champ. They played in the national championship game, Northeastern versus Michigan State. And I forget exactly what the situation was, but Joe had a breakaway to either tie the game or take the lead, and he just completely missed the net. He just went high wide, and we found out there was a stream to watch this game, so we're all tuned in on our phones watching where, and he misses the net, and we're all in the group chat going crazy, like, "Oh, nice shot, Joe!" Like, Joe missed the net, talking about the Biz commercials, and they lose, and he gets on his phone and he's like, "Oh, real nice guys." Like, but yeah, it's a hilarious video of him just missing fucking high glass. He went full Daniel Paille.
Dude, I love Joe, but please send that to me if you have.
I'll try to find it. Yeah, I'll try to find it. Yeah. Yeah. Joe Daniel Paille Lynch.
Oh, we will ask him about that next time. Yeah. Now that I know this is a thing. And I mean, given how the Sox have played, I think we're all but certainly getting Joe on again at some point.
Yeah, I mean, you would have to hope. That would be what a catastrophe that would be.
Well, they've done it before.
They have done it before.
But anyway, Joe did pick Durbin. Should I read their quotes here, or?
Yeah, might as well.
All right, I gotta do them justice at least.
We're also missing one.
We're not. But he sent it in the wrong group chat.
Okay, gotcha.
So let's go first with Joe. He says, "I've got Durbin for." Oh, I guess I can't read it this way. Okay, we're gonna go Oleg first because you'll see why. Anyway, he said, "Give me Durbin, one of the biggest 2 hits of the year and some of the first inning RBIs in game 1 yesterday." And then Joe said, "I've got Durbin for the same reasons. Cannot believe we've gotten to this point with him after I said early in the season he was my least favorite player of all time and that I would never vote for him. But give me the leader of my scrub home run draft." And he is leading the way with 9 home runs, if you want an update on that. Caleb Durbin has 8 of them. So, I mean, just the best pick of the draft, very obviously.
That being said, somebody wants to trade for a Red Sox catcher so I can get a new player. Do I get a deadline acquisition? Like, if they swap Narvaez for Hunter Goodman, do I just get Hunter Goodman?
I don't know if that's how it works. Well, Joe is listening, so he can break the tie.
Yeah,
I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say yes.
Well, of course you're going to say yes.
If they get Hunter Goodman, I just add a guy with 40 home run pop out of nowhere.
That would be the biggest comeback ever.
That would where would that fall on the scale of 0 to the 2026 Red Sox winning 15 straight if I came back to win the scrub home run draft?
It's up there. It's up there. I think you would have to get a Mickey Gasper jersey though.
Oh, they should just DFA him so I can pick somebody new. Like we did this how long ago and I have won. One. Like, I am so I've just stopped paying attention.
It's Connor Wong.
Yeah, I'm just
wait. You have 2 because Narvaez went deep.
Yeah, Narvaez went deep. Yeah. So I have 2.
Yep, I'm adding it to the list right now. We haven't been the best at updating this.
No,
I think these are right.
Well, it's because I had been doing it immediately as they were being hit, and then I fell so far out of contention that I just stopped.
Well, I've been doing it, but sometimes I've been forgetting.
Yeah. I think we'll need a ruling on that one.
Yeah. Okay. Michael also said, "Give me Durbinator." So Caleb Durbin does win, but do you have anyone else, or is it Caleb Durbin?
So looking at the surface stats, you would think that it might be Wilson Contreras, who hit 600 with a 1467 OPS and a 312 WRC plus, but I do think that it has to be Durbin just because of the magnitude of his hits. Like, obviously you have Wilson Contreras, he hits the double on Monday that starts to spark your comeback. It ties it up at 4 in the bottom of the 6th, but then ultimately Caleb Durbin delivers the knockout punch there in the 8th inning. Again, in the first game of yesterday's doubleheader, he immediately gets you on the board with the 2 RBI single and then scores another run. So, yeah, I'm going Caleb Durbin as well. I am going Bowser Jr.
Yeah, Bowser Jr. is the best way to put it. Could also be Baby Bowser, but that's more if you're like old and don't play Mario anymore. I don't know why they did that. But yeah, I'm picking Bowser Jr. as well. Hard to argue. I mean, the 2 largest hits of the series gets you to 14 straight with the game-winning homer in game 1. Like, I again, I cannot believe this turnaround. Like, this is what Jarren Duran could be doing, and unfortunately, he's just remained awful. So I'm all in on Caleb Durbin. I like him. I think he is clearly a piece for the foreseeable future. Like, he has rebuilt his stock in a month and a half, and it's crazy that this was the same guy we were seeing for the first month of the season. Like, I can't believe it.
It's also worth noting that his turnaround coincides exactly with him stopping doing what the Red Sox wanted him to do, which is the air pull percentage nonsense that they tried to pigeonhole all these guys into. They did it with Christian Campbell, and he's still broken. Like, you just got to let these guys hit to all fields. And it's something that I don't know if I touched on the last episode, but it was a quote I saw from Manny where he was like, in batting practice, all these guys are trying to just hit home runs. We just tried to stay through the middle of the field and the home runs came. Like, at some point, it really is just that simple to be like, okay, like, just do what you've done your entire career that makes you successful. And that seems to be what Durbin has gotten back to. And it is no coincidence that he's now back to being a productive player when he's not just trying to pull absolutely everything in the air.
Yep. Don't have anything.
Those style of hitters are obviously like incredibly useful at Fenway Park with the Green Monster, but we've seen lefties go opposite field in the air, in like Rafael Devers is the perfect example. David Ortiz, like JD Martinez, they didn't try to pigeonhole him into using the wall. He had power to the opposite field and they just let him do what he did because he's a professional hitter and he knows what he's doing. Like, they didn't try to say, oh, actually it's way further out there to right field than it is to left field. Have you thought about just hitting the ball to left instead? Like, it's just a miscalculation that the organization made with the air pull stuff. And I think the drive line and all that stuff is incredibly useful, but not when you completely pigeonhole yourselves into that line of thinking. And I fear they might be doing it again with Zach Neto.
They very well could be. It is a little bit of a worry that, like, Marcelo Meyer also, I mean, he's never been that good of a hitter, but also, like, he hasn't put anything really together at the major league level on the offensive side. I question the hitting development side of things, and that is still like a pretty large thing that annoys me about Breslow, because it hasn't gotten better since he's been here. I'd argue it's gotten worse. Maybe that's because of the talent, but I guess I can't even say that because they just won 15 in a row.
Yeah, I mean, I think it might just be the talent. Like, they just lack the like true like number one guy in your lineup, and they haven't had that since June 15th, 2025 or whatever it was.
Yeah, they could get it at the trade deadline. Before we get to that, though, I mean, congratulations to Caleb Durbin. I think he's already won a jersey.
Yeah, he has to have, right?
I'm pretty sure he has. But good for him. I never would have expected that he would be winning multiple of these. And now genuinely, yes, of course. But now genuinely, I do want his jersey. And where am I to go? Nowhere.
Wasn't he? What number was he?
Yeah.
It's one better than a Caleb Durbin jersey.
You have a Caleb Durbin jersey? Oh boy. What? The heating pad on the chair is so funny.
My back is an absolute shambles. I think I pinched a nerve, and like the only time it doesn't hurt is when I'm sitting on this heating pad.
Oh no.
Anyways, one better than a Caleb Durbin jersey. Caleb Durbin tank top.
What the hell is that even from?
They did a giveaway a couple years ago. It was a Kike Hernandez City Connect basketball jersey giveaway.
Oh, I'm not ripped enough for it though. Like I'd have
Yeah.
to wear a shirt underneath it.
No, you can't. No, even if you're not ripped enough for it, like you still can't go undershirt. That you just looks like such a dweeb if you go undershirt with a basketball jersey.
Uh-oh. I did that all throughout college.
Oh, that is a tough look. No,
hey, some would say I was the life of the party at those things.
No, you gotta, again, to be washed up talking about college. So if you're gonna, I don't know how your guys' parties often went, but we often had themes for these parties that just wound up being everybody wore a jersey anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But the key is, like, okay, say I'm gonna wear my Caleb Durbin City Connect basketball jersey to a party, in which I don't attend very many of those anymore. But you go to the gym before it, like hour and a half, 2 hours before, and you hit buys and you get a nice pump going. You take and then that was when I was taking all these who knows what the fuck I was putting into my body when I was I was taking like a nitrous oxide supplement so I would get a better pump. I was taking like 4 scoops of pre-workout and just going and solely hitting biceps and then wearing basketball jerseys to these events.
Oh, that is yeah, I was not stylish. I never have been. I think I wear like the same 3 shirts on it feels like every episode I'm like, I feel like I wore that one last time.
Yeah,
I am doing my laundry, for the record.
I am not doing my laundry, but it is getting done.
Okay.
Yeah, but Katie, whenever we go somewhere like that requires me to wear something other than like my Lululemon shorts and a t-shirt, Katie dresses me for the most part.
I'm not that far, but I probably could use it. Dude, some of my work fits have been egregious. I'm like, I guess this is fine. No one has called me for it, but
yeah, when I even going to the park, I wear like the same 5 shirts. I rotate through the 4 Jimmy Fun shirts that I have, and and a bunch of pants that Katie bought me.
You're about to get 2 more Jimmy Fun shirts, I would think.
We'll see if they switch up the colors this year. It's been the same navy blue and light blue the last 2 years. So
do you have 2 of the exact same shirts?
Yeah, I have 2 of the light blue and 2 of the navies.
I got I think 1 of each. I need to break them out.
They're I exclusively wear those to Fenway for whatever. It's because my closet is such a mess that they're the easiest ones to grab because you kind of have to jam, so they kind of stick out a little bit. So I just grab them like that.
I don't know how we got here either. We went from the Odyssey and the drive-in to
well, we were in jerseys and then
then the Caleb Durbin. Yes, of course.
Yeah, and then the fits.
Let's see. Trade deadline. Is that all we have left? And then the Blue Jays series.
Yep, trade deadline in the Blue Jays series.
Alrighty. Hit me.
All right, deadline, whole lot of stuff, new stuff coming out seemingly every week, and I said it, but that game that you lose on Wednesday night to lose your winning streak, to me, that's the game that you look at and you say, if you're Craig Breslow, okay, this team has proven to me that they are capable of going on the run that I said was coming, and this is a lineup that is in desperate need of a big bopper and a big piece, not only for this year, but moving forward. So to me, that's number 1 priority, bar none, going into the deadline. And it's a sneaky big deadline for Craig Breslow because his track record is not good in running these trade deadlines his first 2 seasons. I'll pull up the numbers right now. I wrote about it about a month ago when there was talk about firing him and whether or not they were going to give him the deadline to kind of save his job and let him maneuver that. We had the conversation handful of times, but it's a really, really ugly picture. In 2024, you enter the trade deadline 56-51, 2.5 games back of the final wild card spot, and you make 4 deals at the deadline, getting James Paxton, Danny Jansen, Lucas Sims, and Luis Garcia. Of course,
Oh.
none of those pan out. You didn't give up anything of substance. It was a lot of guys that were Rule 5 eligible that you weren't going to add to your 40-man roster. Ryan Zefferjan, Matthew Lugo, Nico Cavadas are a couple of the guys that come to mind. You also get Quinn Priester in a prospect swap with the Pirates for Nick York. He makes one start for you before you flip him to Milwaukee in the offseason for Yoferi Rodriguez, John Hollabetz, and what ultimately turned out to be Marcus Phillips. But the 2024 deadline, you acquire 4 players that combined for a negative 0.7 B-WAR. You finish the regular season 25-30, miss the playoffs. 2025, you enter the deadline 59-51, firm control of the second wild card spot, and you have 2 clear needs, replacing Devers' production and a number 2. You go 0 for 2 on those. We said it earlier. You spend your entire day of the deadline trying to get Joe Ryan. You get played by the Twins, and you panic and pivot to Dustin May and overpay to do so, giving up Tibbs, who then turned out to be a really good prospect for the Dodgers, along with Zach Earhart, who I think kind of gets swept under the rug. Steven Matz was fine. I don't have too much of a problem with the Steven Matz acquisition. It's similar to that 2024 approach where you're going to give up Blaze Jordan because you don't see yourself adding him to the 40-man roster ahead of the Rule 5 draft. So you risk losing him for nothing, which ultimately the Cardinals did leave him unprotected and he didn't get selected. So you can say whatever you want about that decision. I don't have a problem with it. Steven Matz was fine for you. He had a 2.08 ERA in 21 appearances for you and then walked in free agency because the Rays wanted to give him a chance to start. Overall, it's just been a really, really ugly picture. He has added a combined negative 0.5 B-WAR across both deadlines. One year you tried your absolute hardest to miss the playoffs and backed in and unceremoniously got eliminated by the Yankees. And in the other, you completely fell apart and missed the playoffs. You can't have that happen this year. You need to go out, you need to act with conviction, and you can't get caught focusing on Hunter Goodman or Shea Langoliers or Zach Neto the entire time. If it becomes clear that these teams are not negotiating in good faith or they're just stringing you along, you have to have the ability to move on.
I'm not fully confident that he does have that ability, but if it's going to happen, this is the year that it's going to happen. Like there's no other way around it. Like this is it, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think he's kept his job beyond this season, but like, if they're like, depending on what next year looks like, if they're in a similar position, he blows this deadline too, he's 0 for 3. There's zero benefit of the doubt. Like, and we can sit here and we can continue dreaming, but even now, I'm not willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm at the point where I need to see it. It's put up or shut up time here.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And it does help that there are a lot of good names in these rumors. I said it earlier, though, like I'm not confident that they can be the highest bidder. They have the pieces to be the highest bidder.
Right. They can be the highest bidder, but will they?
I'm not convinced until I see it.
No, I'm not either.
You just said it.
Yeah, I'm not either. And like I said, you need a middle of the lineup bat, but you also need a leadoff hitter in like the worst way possible. It is just a really, really ugly picture at your leadoff spot. You've tried so many guys there, whether it be the Linsanity, capitalize on the Linsanity runs of Anthony Siegler and Mickey Gasper. You tried out Roman there for a while. You tried out Duran there. Rafaela got a game as the leadoff hitter. It's been a rotating cast of, I don't want to say scrubs or bums, but a rotating cast of ineffectiveness at your leadoff position. And it needs to get better. You're getting a 73 WRC plus from your leadoff hitter this year. That's the worst in baseball. They're hitting 209, which is, again, the worst in baseball. They have a 289 on base percentage, which is the second worst in baseball. And the slugging percentage of 345 is the second worst in baseball. Unfortunately, none of these guys that we're going to talk about really profile as a leadoff hitter besides maybe Luis Arias. But even so, he doesn't walk. So it's like, how do you plug Luis Arias into your leadoff spot? So like, it kind of might just be a situation where you're going to have to mix and match until you find something that works and just add pieces where you can and then figure out the lineup afterwards. Because like I said, Luis Arias doesn't walk. Zach Neto strikes out at a 31.5% clip. Jeremy Pena doesn't really profile as a leadoff guy. Neither does CJ Abrams. Like, they're more effective as I think Pena would be a really good 2-hitter. But like Abrams, you would rather have in your 3 or 4 hole where he's more likely to come up with runners in scoring position. I think like it's just there's no easy solution for your leadoff spot.
I don't think it's going to come at the deadline. I mean, there haven't been any rumors of a guy like that.
It has to be Roman. Long term, it has to be Roman.
And he's shown flashes. Like last year when they kind of gave him the keys there before he got hurt, he was looking pretty solid in the leadoff spot, and you thought you had it figured out. But for the first however many games he was able to play this year, it just wasn't the same at all.
Yeah, he was getting pitched differently this year because he was the guy, and he talked very openly about that he was getting pitched different. It was a tough adjustment for him to make. So, like ultimately, he's going to make that adjustment. But again, it falls on Breslow for putting that kind of pressure on him.
They can't do it again, and these are all pretty big boppers that we'll get to here. But just the fact that we're here is getting me excited already.
Yeah, let's pick a name. Where do you want to start?
I kind of want to start at the bottom.
Start at the bottom with Luis Arias.
Yeah, like we should go from like, I would be okay with that to like pipe dream.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So with Luis Arias, I think I'm definitely on that page. Like I'd be okay with that, but also that can't be the only addition you make. Like I don't think that Luis Arias is all of a sudden transforming this offense from like below average to like top half of the league type of offense. He's a good player. He fills a position of need at second base where he's been incredible defensively. He's been one of if not the best defensive second baseman in baseball, which is crazy for Luis Arias, but he doesn't hit home runs, he doesn't walk, he doesn't strike out obviously. He just puts the ball in play. It's either a ground out, a line out, or a base hit. He certainly helps. He gets on base and he continues to help keep the line moving. But I think we touched on it on the last episode. If you get Luis Arias and Eugenio Suarez, I think that is not a slam dunk deadline, but I think you look at that deadline and you say, okay, your lineup is significantly improved from where you were when you started the season or even entered the deadline. Like that's two upgrades where you feel comfortable about moving forward, that your team is better. When you're talking about some of these other names, it's just like I can't get super excited about Luis Arias, even if he does fit a hole.
No, I'm with you there. I think it would have to be supplemented by a power hitter, like you were saying in Suarez. Like it cannot be Luis Arias and nothing else. I see him as a better Massa, pretty much, which is great. I mean, Massa's been really good when he's been given the opportunity, but I mean, you've had a homer problem all year. Like this doesn't solve that. So if it's just Luis Arias, I'm probably pretty upset.
Yeah, I agree. Where do we want to go next here?
Maybe Luis Garcia.
Okay, that's the one I was leaning to as well.
Okay.
Yeah, he is not a perfect fit by any stretch of the imagination, mostly because he's positionally homeless. He's played second base and shortstop in his career, but the defensive metrics at both of those positions are brutal. In 4,100 career innings at second base, it's a -29 DRS, a -19 outs above average, and a -15 fielding run value. In 580 innings at shortstop, it's a -17 DRS, a -14 OAA, and a -15 fielding run value. He's been good at first base this year. It's DRS and OAA of 1 and a fielding run value of 2, but the Red Sox have Wilson Contreras at first base, so you're pretty much adding a designated hitter. Similarly, he's a left-handed hitter who is really good against right-handed pitching, and he is completely sheltered against lefties. He is unhittable against left-handed pitching, which plays into the Red Sox hand actually a little bit, because I didn't realize this until I started digging into Garcia. They've been one of the worst offenses against right-handed pitching in 2026. They're hitting 238 with a 684 OPS and a WRC plus of 87, which is the third lowest in the sport against righties. So you're talking about a DH who can only hit righties, which does fill a need, and you do have Romy Gonzalez, so that's a pretty easy platoon. But in terms of what it might cost to get Luis Garcia, given that he has 2 more years of team control, or a year and a half of team control, I just don't know that that's the piece that you're really expending those type of assets for, especially if you're talking about a guy in Paul Taboni who has familiarity with the Red Sox system and a really big need at pitching. Like, are you talking about giving up Kyson Witherspoon plus for Luis Garcia? Like, I'm all set on that.
Yeah. Also, I mean, I didn't realize he was only 26. He just feels older than that. I don't know why, but it's another one of these where I wouldn't be blown away, but it's better than Luis Arias.
Yeah, it's an upgrade, it's power, and it helps fill a void as a team that struggles against right-handed pitching. But again, like, we're talking about some of these names, like he's pretty far down on the list of all the potential options. Like, if we spend the entire next 10 days talking about some of these next guys we're going to get to, and it's like, okay, you got Luis Garcia, it's like, well, that's kind of a womp womp.
Yeah, it is. I think this next one is probably the start of the, like, oh shit category, for lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm. Which one?
Zach Neto.
Yeah, that's where I would go as well. Yeah. So I just wrote a whole story on this on RedSoxRoundtable.com. Check it out. Sign up for free. I think I'm actually going to do a giveaway on there and pair it in with following us on Twitter at Entering Kenmore on Twitter. I'm going to see what I can do for that, but I have a bunch of stuff that I very easily could give away in order to boost both the traffic on the site and to the podcast. So keep an eye out for that stuff, probably in the next coming weeks. But I just wrote a whole piece on the Ken Rosenthal, Will Salmon report that the Red Sox think that Neto is a strong fit for them and are opening up, revisiting, I should say, rather, talks about trading him, which is obviously something that they explored in the offseason and it didn't go anywhere because Artie Moreno doesn't know what he's doing as the owner of the Nationals, the Angels. Last 2 seasons, he's hitting .253 with 49 home runs. This is 24 and 25, not including this year. So 63 doubles, 139 RBIs. He's got a WRC plus of 115. It's 8th among all qualified shortstops, and his F4 of 6.7 is 12th best. In 2026, it's been a weird year. He's down in batting average, hitting only .238, but everything else is pretty much in line with career norms. 326 OBP, 446 slug, 772 OPS, 19 home runs, but he's striking out at the 9th highest rate in baseball, 31.5%, 32.3% whiff rate, and a 36.4% chase rate. And the defense it's okay. It's not fantastic. The defensive run saved is fine. It's 2, but then when you get into the range department, it's a -7 OAA and which is 14th among the 17 qualified shortstops, and the fielding run value is -6. So it's really it's not anything to write home about. Originally, as I was looking into him, I thought it was kind of Xander Bogaerts-like defensively, where it's like, okay, he makes the plays that are supposed to be made, but the plays where you're like, oh shit, good play, are the ones where he kind of struggles to make. But then I looked at it, and Bogaerts didn't fare as well in defensive runs saved either, which was kind of surprising to me until he got to San Diego. He's been incredible defensively at shortstop this year, but I don't know. You're talking about a guy with 3 years of team control after this season, and you're talking about a package that probably starts with one of Meyer or Arias and one of Ianson or Witherspoon, and plus on top of that, I just don't know that that's the type of guy that you really empty your coffers to go out and get.
I agree. I think I would be pretty happy if this was the guy they did ultimately end up bringing in, though. Like, he's only 25. And he has 3 years of team control, so he probably hasn't even reached his peak. Well,
that's what you're banking on.
Right. Like it's more of hoping for the upside, but at least right now, like that's the homer power you need. He's got 19 on the year already. That would be second most on the Red Sox. So, I mean, if you swing and miss on the guys we'll get to, I mean, I guess one of them is not going to happen, but the other two that we're going to get to, or three, I think I would be more happy.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think ultimately if you wind up with Zach Neto, you have your shortstop of the future for however long. And I said it earlier when talking about like going out and making a big swing, but like if you go out and expend the type of assets that is going to take to get Zach Neto, that's a move that's made with big conviction, and he better have another level to him. Like this is a guy that you believe in to be the shortstop of the future for the next 3 years, and a guy that you pay. So like ultimately you have to believe in that evaluation because you don't have any other choice. But again, like I just think that some of these other names are a little bit more established and a little bit more attractive on that front.
I agree. And just the prospect capital you'd have to give. I don't want to give up Kyson Witherspoon for this guy.
No, yeah. Like ultimately you're paying for the years of team control, not necessarily the production right now. And I think they need to find a better blend of years of team control and production, like which is why I think you need to get a guy. You can't just go out and get a rental if you're going to expend these types of assets, but also you shouldn't be paying for a guy who the results on the field right now aren't as strong as some of your other options because they have more years of team control.
Yeah. I I mean, some of these other guys we'll get to are just better versions of this, I would say. So
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Where do you want to move on to here?
You can pick if you want. I don't want to pick all of them.
All right, let's go with CJ Abrams here while we're talking about the shortstops. Ultimately, I don't think CJ Abrams is a shortstop. But I do think he's a second baseman, and which again is another position of need. You've had some of the worst production in baseball from your second baseman. I'll pull up the numbers right now, but again, that's another story that I wrote over on Roundtable. But second base, it's been a black hole really since Dustin Pedroia. Obviously, you get big hit Ian Kinsler in 2018, but aside from them, it's been a rotating cast of who since Manny Machado murdered Dustin Pedroia. This year, they've obviously used Meyer, Monasterio, Siegler, Romy. They rank in the bottom 10 in batting average, on base percentage, slugging percentage, WRC plus, and ultimately, I think maybe you do stick Abrams at shortstop for this year and then adjust and then make the adjustments moving forward. But to me, this is the second most appealing shortstop option or middle infield option, I'll say, behind Jeremy Pena. Obviously, he is one of the best hitters in at the position. He has 24 home runs in 2026, 286 batting average, 903 OPS. He strikes out less than Neto does. He walks slightly less, but again, you're trading a 2% drop in walk percentage for a 10% drop in strikeout percentage, and he has 20 bag speed. Like I said, defensively, that's where things get a little shaky. It's a negative 11 outs above average, and it's fringe arm strength. He's in the 41st percentile right now. So ultimately, probably a second baseman. But if you're talking about giving up Arias or a Meyer or an Ianson, I would assume that Taboni wants pitching just because that's where they are lacking. They've scored the most runs in baseball, but have one of the worst pitching staffs in baseball. And with a market where it's going to be more baseball trades, I think that's probably one where like do you flip Jake Bennett back to Washington as a part of a deal for CJ Abrams? Like now we're talking about good pieces of business. You get rid of Luis Perales for Bennett, and then 6 months later you're flipping them for CJ Abrams. Obviously, it would be more on top of that, but I think this is where we start to get into the territory of like baseball trades.
I think this is my favorite guy on the list. Like he is so fun to watch. And not to mention he's still super young. So
yeah, he's an R1 right now.
Right. And I mean, part of that also makes me think, why would the Nationals trade him? Like, are they really going for it this year. I guess it is kind of more of a baseball trade, like you said, but even still, this is their second best player. Like I think it would be a haul if they
Oh
were
yeah.
going to get him.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're probably talking about one of Meyer or Arias and then one or both of Ianson and Witherspoon. That's a price I'm willing to pay for the record.
Yeah, I agree. It would be tough to part with them. It feels like the prospect capital. Yeah, they would be missed, but I would also drive them to the airport. Like,
yeah, I mean, this is a guy that is now a mainstay in your lineup through the 2028 season, and then a guy that ideally you're paying. But if you're Washington, it's kind of a similar calculus with Wood. Like at this point, you probably have some idea of who you are and aren't paying, and I think that they are probably only going to pay one of Abrams or Wood. So at this point, you got to start making that decision. Like, okay, like this is the time that you want to start trading those guys because that's when you can maximize their value. We saw them do it with Soto, and obviously that got them James Wood and Mackenzie Gore, who they went on to flip for a huge haul in the offseason. Like, we saw the Red Sox make that mistake with Mookie, where they should have traded him a year earlier than they did. And
did they not get C.J. Abrams in that trade?
Did they? Maybe they did.
I want to say they did. And it was like, what's that guy? Robert Hassel?
Yeah, Robert Hassel. Maybe they did get Abrams, actually. Huh. I feel like you're right, actually, now that I continue to think about it. So you trade Soto, you get James Wood, CJ Abrams, Mackenzie Gore, Robert Hassel. I'm pulling up the transactions for Abrams right now, but I think, I
forget
right.
who else.
Yeah, traded by the San Diego Padres with Harleen Susana, Mackenzie Gore, Robert Hassel, and James Wood for Josh Bell and Juan Soto.
Josh Bell. Shout him out. Yeah. He's actually having a relatively productive year. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean that these are more the types of guys that I'm interested in expending that type of prospect capital for. He's the same age as Neto, and while ultimately he's not going to stick at shortstop, if you hang on to one of Arias or Meyer, you're still hanging on to the belief that one of them can be the shortstop of the future, and you add what would immediately become your second best player behind Roman Anthony.
Who would you rather trade, Arias or Meyer?
Arias.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty quick for me.
It is quick. Like, part of me just kind of wants to see Arias at the major league level. We're not going to before the trade deadline, of course.
I'm just not totally sold on the power surge. Like, I understand that it happens, like, and guys develop new power, but, like, I don't know. I feel like you have a guy in Meyer who is major league, maybe not major league ready bat-wise, but, like, I believe is closer to being a major league ready player than Franklin Arias. And, like ultimately, I think if you give up on either one, or, like, I guess it would be giving up on Meyer, but it wouldn't be giving up on Arias. But, like, if you're moving either one, I think I'm comfortable with the other one moving forward and potentially that role, especially if you're getting a guy like Abrams in return. Like, ultimately, you have to give up good players to get good players back. And, like, it's going to suck to move some of these guys, but ultimately the production, at least from Meyer's perspective, hasn't been there at the major league level. And if he simply just played better, he probably wouldn't be getting traded. So
if we land Abrams or really any of these other guys we're going to get to, like, they better pull a Yoenis Cespedes and get those jerseys ready, because it would be a crime not to.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I did want to pull up the Jeff Passan story where he's ranking all the trade deadline candidates, because I do think that he gives pretty good insight into where they may or may not be available. And I know that Zach Neto, he gave a 30% chance of getting traded, and John Heyman said the same thing today. He said 25. So it'll be interesting. I'm trying to find that Passan article right now. But we can keep moving on to the next fella, if you.
Yeah, I think we already touched on Hunter Goodman last time, didn't we? But
I think you might be right. That feels like it's pretty on. Did you see just quickly on him? We don't have to spend the whole time on him. Did you see the I wanted to say Jeff Goodman, but that's a college basketball reporter. Did you see the Jim Bowden trade proposal to land Hunter Goodman for the Red Sox?
No.
It was, I can't remember the exact pieces. It definitely had Meyer in it. It definitely had Early in it. And then I want to say it had one of Ianson or Witherspoon and Carlos Narvaez. Like, to me, I'm all
Hunter
set
Goodman?
on that type of prospect haul for Hunter Goodman. Like, really good player, fills a need, right-handed power, and he absolutely mashes. He's better or just as good on the road as he is at home, so you don't necessarily have to worry about the cores effect. Contract-wise, I don't know why Spot Track is being so... It won't let me use the search bar for whatever reason, so I have to go to team and then find the player.
Oh.
But... Contract-wise, he's still in pre-arb at 26, so he's under team control through the... Where the hell is... There's no way he's under team control through 2028. It's got to be longer than that. Maybe Baseball Reference will have it. If he's 3 years of arb, so he's under team control through 29, I believe. But I'll fact-check that right now. But it just feels like Ianson, Meyer, Early... and Narvaez, who, like, ultimately you're replacing him, but I still think is a good, like, Narvaez is a perfect backup catcher. That just doesn't feel like, 2030 free agent, so he's through 2029. That just feels like an awful lot to give up for a guy, albeit one of the better power hitters in baseball.
How old is he?
He's 26.
I don't hate it. I don't think you can give up that much for Hunter Goodman, but I think he could prove himself worthy of the return.
Sure, he could, but, like, I don't know. That just feels like a lot. Early and one of Ianson or Witherspoon. I want to say it was Witherspoon, so you hang on to Ianson, but, like, man, that is just... That is
having
high price to pay.
Part of it is they might get ruined pitching in Colorado. Like, I would feel bad.
Yeah. Sure, but they need, like, I mean, they need the pitching, but, like, yeah, I just don't. I don't know. I don't see it.
No, I don't either. I don't think I see any of the rest of these guys really.
No, I don't either. It seems like Shea Langoliers isn't going anywhere either. They made an offer. Just on Goodman real quick. Passing gave him a 15% chance of being traded. As much as the Rockies have waited years for another homegrown star, they're in such a dire pitching situation that Goodman at least offers them an opportunity to land high ceiling arms. They're not looking to deal him, but should the right suitor call, new president of baseball operations, Paul DePodesta, certainly wouldn't hang up. And then on Abrams, just quickly, because I know we were talking about him too, he has him as the 9th best trade deadline candidate, 25% chance of being traded. For all teams, what the fuck is this word? Reticence? I don't know. Geez, Jeff Passan's stumping me. Regarding Abrams, particularly with his propensity to have a bonanza first half and wither after the All-Star break, his performance this season is undeniable. He hits for average power, steals bases, drives and runs, all that plus 2 years of team control, and he plays up the middle. Evaluators simply don't think he's a good shortstop. Defensive metrics firmly agree, and among the limited number of teams looking to fill that position, the exceptional return that Paul Taboni would seek, it's probably not the time for Abrams to move. So I wonder if you throw out like a Bennett or an Early as the headliner of a deal plus one of Arias or whatnot. We kind of already touched on that, if that kind of changes things, but it seems like that might be a little unrealistic too.
Yeah. Reticent? I don't know what that word is.
Yeah. Stumped me. Shea Langoliers, who is Passan has him as the number 6 player available at the deadline. Supposedly the A's are at least listening to offers on him again in search of pitching upgrades, which honestly bodes really well for the Red Sox. The way that this market is shaping up, where so many teams need young, controllable pitching, especially some of these smaller market cheap teams, like the way that this is shaping out, it's honestly setting up for Breslow to have a monster trade deadline. So I'm prepared to be disappointed here. He's got 2 more years after 2026, so he's got 27 and 28. Obviously, major power, and they'll need pitching in return, but defensively he isn't great at blocking, but he's really good at throwing runners out. Obviously comes with massive power. He hit 31 home runs last year with an 861 OPS. This year he's got 23 with an 830 OPS, but again, Passan gives him just a 10% chance of getting traded because as you see with guys with this much team control, it takes a haul to acquire them, and teams aren't looking to get rid of those types of guys super easily.
I kind of like Hunter Goodman more than Shea Langoliers just because of age, really. Like, Langoliers is already 28. I know, but I feel like the difference between 26 and 28 is a little sizable.
Oh, little breaking news here, actually.
Uh-oh.
Franklin Arias heading to AAA.
Ooh.
And Tommy Castle, Franklin Arias is called up to join the Worcester Red Sox.
I like it. I like it.
About time there.
Yeah, it did take them long enough. That was overdue for what? 2-3 months now?
Months, yeah, at least a month or two. And they Brian Abraham talked a lot about how they view Worcester more as like a major league feeder team than they do a place for development. So I think it's a pretty big step that they see him getting closer to being major league ready. Like I believe the exact words from Abraham were, if you're on the Woo Sox, then you should be prepared to get the call to the big leagues at any moment. So for them to like have said that and then also be promoting Arias is a pretty big step.
I wonder if that means they're not confident they're getting a shortstop.
I mean, maybe, but I don't think they're bringing Arias up after just a couple weeks in AAA either.
No, but even still, like, I guess they are bringing him along. I guess it's not faster than you would have expected, but the fact that he's already in AAA means maybe we see him at the end of the year. I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly getting closer.
That would be sweet. It's now been kind of a turnaround for him because I don't think he was really on my radar because he was more of a defensive guy, and now with the power surge, I'm like, is this guy like the next big thing? But here's the issue: like, I don't want to say all of the prospects haven't panned out, but largely on the hitting side of things, once they've gotten to the major league level, it's been pretty underwhelming. So I'm not as upset parting with the prospect hitters than I am with the pitchers.
That's kind of where I fall as well. Like, especially we've seen Meyer come up and not immediately make an impact. Like, that's kind of where I'm like, okay, the power surge is nice from Marius, but I don't know that it's going to be for real. Like, I don't think he's a 25, 30 home run guy now because he's hit 19 this year in AA. Like, I think he's probably still like on the high end, like a 15 to 20 home run guy.
Which is fine, but it's, it's a step up from what you have at shortstop right now. But
if you can cash him in for CJ Abrams, who's a 25, 30 guy, like, you do that.
Sure. Yeah, I'm all in on that. Anything else on Langoliers? I know we kind of got cut off there.
No, I don't think so. I think if they are going to go catcher, I prefer Langoliers to Goodman. I don't really have anything to back that up other than just like vibes. I think I like Shea Langoliers more than I like Hunter Goodman.
It's a cool name.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, let's do the Blue Jays preview real quick here. Game 1 is tomorrow, Friday. I'm actually going to be boots on the ground for this, and I'm just finding out that Patrick Sandoval's on the mound, so that makes me upset.
Yeah.
But it is Patrick Sandoval versus Trey Savage, so that's not great.
Yeah, it's not a good. I mean, obviously, you have Sonny Gray going on Saturday, spoiler alert, and then it looks like it's going to be Ranger Suarez on Sunday, but you are getting the Blue Jays' 3 best arms on the flip side.
Yeah, so game 2 is 4:10. That is Sonny Gray. Oh, it's on Saturday as well. That is Sonny Gray versus Dylan Cease, who I think we talked about a little bit earlier. They were able to get to him earlier in the year when things weren't going so hot. So maybe they can do it again, but he's not the Cy Young front runner, but he's the runner up right now.
Yeah, runner up behind Schlittler, but also like I think we touched on it before. I think that Sonny Gray is getting disrespected in the Cy Young race.
Totally. This is a really good pitching matchup.
Yeah, really good. It's low scoring affairs, unders across the ball. Maybe not on Friday, but because Sandoval, the Blue Jays, who have stunk the last month, will probably wind up putting up like 15 on Sandoval because of course they will. But
probably. Let's see. And then the finale, game 3, 1:35 on Sunday. That is TBD, probably Ranger Suarez versus Kevin Gausman. Kevin Gausman, since George has traded him to my team in fantasy baseball, he has been a shell of himself. He has been really bad to the point where there are a bunch of trade rumors around him. And I'm like, what? How much would you have to give up for him now?
Well, I mean, I assume you're still giving up a pretty substantial haul, but yeah, and he's got a weird no trade list. It's like Milwaukee, Tampa, Cincinnati. So yeah, I don't know. Like, obviously, I don't think it's just solely based about teams that are good, because some of those teams are good. Others, I don't think would be in the market to acquire him. Like, I don't think the Rays are in the mix for like a Kevin Gausman, or the Mariners obviously are looking to trade from their rotation surplus to add offense. So
right, yeah, I don't know. It's unfortunate that the second he got on my team, he started pissing down his leg every start. But I'm gonna go 2 out of 3. I think they win the last 2.
I think I'm gonna go 1 out of 3 here. I'm not super confident. I think they win Saturday and they sandwich the win. I think. I'm not confident with Patrick Sandoval on the mound. I could see them taking 2 out of 3, winning Saturday, Sunday, but I'm not confident in Sandoval at all. But I'll go on the pessimistic side and say 1 out of 3.
That's fine. As long as I get to see Garrett Whitlock tomorrow, then I'm all in. By the way, Garrett Whitlock and Aroldis Chapman, both sub 2 ERAs. I think they're both like 190.
Yeah, Whitlock, I feel like I saw it. I heard it on the radio broadcast the other day. He hasn't allowed a run since like June 21st or something like that.
Yeah, and he hasn't walked a guy since coming off the IL. Like,
yeah,
I forget when that was. Like beginning of June.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So honestly, I was not that insane for taking him as my Rolaids relief man of the first half, because
no, I don't think so.
He is.
No, I think, and I think there was an argument for it at least.
Yeah, I mean he's the best, man. I get so hyped every time he comes in. Like and like when I saw him trotting in at work during the meeting, the butterflies were going. I'm like, I am all in on this. And once again, he recorded another hold, which is an interesting stat that I don't fully get.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Sometimes in MLB The Show, like I won't get a hold when I'm like, I feel like I should have gotten a hold because I pitched a clean inning with the reliever and it doesn't happen. Maybe the game's just broken.
Doesn't it have to? It has to be within a save situation.
I thought so.
3 runs, yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I don't get him.
Oh, weird. Huh.
Or maybe I'm just dumb.
Yeah, maybe it's just the game.
I could just be dumb. But anyway, shout out Garrett Whitlock. Anything else? Any final thoughts?
No, I don't think so.
This has been another lengthy one. Basically the same as the last episode. I was not expecting to go for 2:15 this time around, but the Red Sox are giving us plenty of things to talk about, which is a nice welcome surprise. I hope they keep it going. They finally started to win at home, so maybe this is a good sign. Maybe they can take this Blue Jays series and then head out to Sacramento feeling pretty good about yourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these are 3 winnable games here, and then you have 4 winnable games against the Athletics. It's a perfect time to start the new winning streak. Obviously, I don't know that you're going to win 15 in a row again, seeing that it's happened exactly twice in the 125-year history of the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah.
But winnable games to go into the trade deadline, leaving no doubt that you're going to be buyers, and you can go ahead and add an impact bat to your lineup and not really worry about it going into the Dodgers series, and then you can kind of take off from there.
I'm optimistic. And thank God the Red Sox have given us a reason to watch and follow this team as much as we do, because it has been a dire first half of the season. But we're back in playoff contention here. It's going to be interesting down the stretch, and we're only 10 days away from the deadline. So I think next time we jump on is probably going to be the big primer, and maybe some moves will have already happened at that point. Probably not the big ones, but it's the best time of year as far as I'm concerned.
Oh yeah, absolutely. When your team's in contention and looking to be buyers, like just kind of like dreaming on some of the players they could add is like some of the most fun you'll have during the season.
Yeah, hopefully some of these come to fruition this time around. But we will see where the Red Sox end up in about a week or so. As always, thanks so much for listening. We'll check in with you guys again next time.
Break May.